Welcome to the Pirate Podcast, episode number 2. I've been waiting all week for this.
The squeakle.
Especially you. How's your voice doing?
It's doing pretty good, man. It's doing much better now. It was pretty shitty the last few days.
What, cold or what? Run it for me.
No, I lose my voice like once every year or so. What ends up happening is I just don't get a lot of sleep. I talk a fucking shit ton all the time. And so my vocal cords get fucked
Especially
up.
when we're together. We just talk all day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been an interesting week for sure. Absolutely. How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, buddy. Anything exciting going on in the world? Well, I mean, there's been a fuck ton of shit going on in the world, but what's specifically been going on with you?
Specifically for me, a lot. This weekend, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do my sparring or whatever, and then I'm going to go shoot. I got a new bow. I don't really know what I'm doing. I already broke my bow day one.
How the fuck did you break it? You never even told me the story of how that happened.
I thought I knocked the arrow, and then I went to shoot, but it unknocked. Thank God it didn't fucking like fly into my foot or something. Fucking shatter my peep. Do you know what a peep is?
Like the fluffy marshmallow peep?
No. A peep is basically on the string you pull back, there's a sight that's like built into the string.
Okay.
For the wire or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And you line that up with your pins. You know how the pin system works?
Yeah.
Okay. And it shattered. That's the only thing. Everything loosened up, so I retightened everything, but the peep exploded. Some guys were kind enough to help me repair the peep, but then they were like really getting into helping me tune my bow, and they were like, oh, let's go down and weight, and just everything was fucked because your arrows are tied to your weight, safety, density. I don't really know what I'm talking about.
You were doing 60 pounds, right?
They were like, yeah, but here's the thing, I was shooting all day. And then they're like, oh, you're struggling to pull that bow back. I'm like, yeah, I'm still developing the muscles. And the goal is to always go up, never go down.
Right.
And now I have to get new arrows if I stay it that way. So I'm just going to go back up. It's like 2 rotations, I think. And what's wild is that, like, I let these guys just fuck with my bow. My other buddy just chewed me out. He's like, this is what happens when you let other guys touch your bow, and he just roasted me for 10 minutes. And he's like an older gentleman. He's like my hunting mentor. And, you can't, this is the guy that helps you, takes you out hunting. You can't fight this guy. You know what I mean? So you just have to sit it and eat it.
Let's be honest, though. This guy, I've met this guy.
Yeah.
He's killed a guy before, for sure.
Well, with his bare hands.
With his bare hands. There's no doubt in my mind.
But was it reported to the police?
Absolutely not. No one found him. No. He just disappeared.
Interesting. Funny enough, my best friend, we'll get to him in a second. He, when I went to go to his Marine Corps graduation, when I went to Georgia, and then I flew into Georgia.
Dread Pirate?
Dread Pirate, yeah, and he'll be guest attending here soon, hopefully. So Dread Pirate, he graduated, dude. Motherfucker was skinny. He used to be morbidly obese. I don't know if you realize that. Funny story. He's lost like 120 pounds. But Dread Pirate, well, let me back up. I landed in Georgia, and then I rented a car. They almost didn't give me the car. I almost got stranded in Georgia. They were like, yeah, your address on your ID doesn't match the address that you put on file. And I was like, and I had to Karen. I'm like, look, man, get the manager. And the manager gave it to me, but she just started bullying me. She's like, you have to figure this out next time. Like, get your life together. She basically said, like dressed me down like I was a child. She gave me the car, though. They upgraded me. Well, they didn't upgrade me. They just gave me a different car. I think I got a Rogue. Thing was fucking nice.
Nice.
They're like, one of the people behind the counter, like, this car saved my life. I felt super safe. Driving in Georgia, listening to the new Suicide Boys album. Love Suicide Boys, by the way. And it was, it's the one that's super popular. They're like the song that's most popular. I don't even like that song. It's the last track. I like the rest of the album. I'm a been listening to Suicide Boys like 2015 since they released.
Oh my god!
And so like everyone,
welcome back to the Suicide Boys podcast.
and I every time I tell someone like that, like this fucking hipster, and I'm like, no, dude. You gotta love when a band blows up, but then you gotta hate it, right?
Right.
So I went to the Suicide Boys concert before they were famous off of TikTok, and it was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get stabbed here. Like I love that energy. I love that. I like the fear of like, wow, this mosh pit's live and real. Remember the Travis Scott concert?
Right.
I went to the fucking Suicide Boys concert when they returned a week after that. Everything was on lockdown. It was all tweens. They were literally like high school students, and I started to mosh, and I got yelled at by teenagers, and I'm like, dude, fucking kill my vibe. I went from being the stabby to the stabber, and I was like,
and 27 kids died that
no,
day.
no. They kept pushing us back and everything, and I was like, dude, I fucking hate this energy. It was awful. Great concert, hated the energy. Don't recommend. I think teenagers ruin concerts.
Teenagers ruin a lot of things.
They ruin a lot of things. It's like they want to ride the hype energy. But the good news is their attention spans are so small that hopefully it'll fall off and it will return back to its true like grit, right? That's what I have to tell myself. But then back to the Georgia. I drive into South Carolina, listening to that album, and I forgot how to handle cold. So I just wore a fleece. I go to the graduation, and I wear a fleece. I thought I was gonna die. I was freezing to death. Like I'm a civilian air, so I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Beautiful watching it happen, but I've never been so cold in my life. And I kept telling myself, well, my buddy's out there, he's a Marine, he's got to be in the cold. After that, though, I was staying at an Airbnb, and that Airbnb was like, oh, well, we still live there. And I was like, okay. So I had a room. They had like all the rules and everything. I was super cleanly, very quiet, but they still lived there. And like I guess their main business, like their secondary business, they both worked at call centers, which is interesting. Their second business was they just hosted people constantly seeing the Marines graduate all the time. And so this room, they had all the rules. I was a pretty good tenant, I think. But you're walking in and out of the shower with a towel on. I tried to address it in the shower room. And then you see the fat dude just sitting on the bed with his belt, not wearing a shirt, watching TV. Like, this is fucking weird. Like,
there's always one of those
could
guys,
these people murder me? Probably not, right? Because they had really good ratings, unless they were all fictitious, and this is how they get their first kill. No, they were smart.
That's genius, by the way.
That is genius, by the way.
We should start that business. Welcome back to How to Fucking Murder Somebody podcast.
So, well, we're gonna get to the murder. We're gonna get to a
oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, this is. I just want to dive deep in like the long story.
I like it.
So, best thing you could do, by the way, piece of advice. I don't know if you know this. Do you like partaking in cigars?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine, right? They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoy a cigar from here and there. So what do you do in a new city? Cigar. You're going to meet all new types of guys. I stopped at the cigar. I was there for like 8 hours. People were coming in. People were coming out. One of the guys was shit-faced when I got there. Really chatty, like overly chatty. Drunk, though.
8 hours?
6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
I think 8 hours is pushing it. I basically did not want to return to my hotel, and this was during COVID.
How many cigars did you smoke in fucking 6 to 8 hours?
Maybe it wasn't that long, because I think it was 3 cigars. So
it
maybe,
was 17 minutes.
no, it was 3 cigars, so that's maybe an hour and a half per cigar.
Okay.
So that's 3-4 hours. Maybe I'm overdoing it. But in my mind, a lot of conversations happen.
Right.
The guy basically tells me that people are really racist, by the way, in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Super racist.
Fuck yeah.
I did experience, I thought that was all fucking hype. And so I hold on, back up. Sorry, I just had a total brain fart. So he was driving, and he's like a guy tried to get out of the car and rob his car, and he ran him over. And he was just telling us, slosh, I killed a man. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Smoking my cigar, I'm like, well, if anything pops off, this guy's going to protect me. And he lived in a boathouse, super eccentric, retiree. And that he just lived in a house with like his girlfriend, many years younger. The guy was like in the 60s. And
straight pimpin'?
He was straight pimpin', but after he left, everyone in the cigar shop goes, that guy's a regular, he's fucking crazy. And I was like, that nice. So that's my story of when someone confessed murder to me. And the moral of the story is, whenever you're traveling, always stop at the local cigar establishment. Try to avoid chains. Like,
I legit thought the moral of the story was to never fucking go to South Carolina ever again.
I actually really like. Here's the thing, though. I actually really like South Carolina. On God, I really enjoyed it. It was it was really nice. Hold on, I got a text here. South Carolina is it was cool. The people are a little weird. Lots of churches, like super. That's all you have out there. Went to a Mexican restaurant. We're in Arizona, so Mexican restaurants out here are super authentic.
Right.
It's terrible, fucking
was
terrible.
Was it straight just ground beef?
It was the white people version of Mexican food,
that's fair.
and it was tough, dude. It was tough. Outside of that, I didn't do very much. I tried to go to museums. I like going to museums. It's my thing. I really like to go to galleries and stuff like that. But they were all closed, so that's all we could do. So that's the moral of the story. Dread Pirate, he's a good dude, and
he'll definitely be on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not in the next couple, but sometime in the near future for sure.
100% on God. But he that was an interesting experience. Outside of that, that's my story. And I returned the car. I had no problems. Everything was good. Flew back. And great trip. Are you planning any trips in your near future?
Not really. I'm gonna probably go to the Waste Management Open tomorrow.
Tell me about this, because I like extreme sports, but I don't know anything about non-extreme sports.
So every Super Bowl, there is a major. It's one of the major golf tournaments that happens in Arizona. It's pretty cool. There's always a bunch of celebrities there. I saw like Will Smith there. I've seen.
Is this pre-slap or post-slap?
This is pre-slap for sure.
Do you think he's a different Will Smith now?
Yeah, I don't think he goes to golf anymore. I think he goes to fucking like play dice in the yard now.
he takes boxing gloves.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, Chris Rock is much smaller than him. That was
absolutely. Chris Rock's like
fair.
My size, dude.
Right. And how tall is Will Smith? He's got to be 6 something.
6'3" or 6'4". I think he's a big boy.
Dude. He's a big dude. Definitely inappropriate. Lost his mind. Chris Rock is a comedian too. Like,
yeah. First of all, he fucking crossed the line there.
First of all, Will Smith's an actor. He could have probably responded with some witty ass shit, but he's just freaked out.
He's just going through a rough time.
I don't really understand. I don't know enough about.
So his wife cheated on him. Right. They had an open relationship.
I want to ask you a question actually about that. Do you think what's more acceptable? If a guy cheats on his woman, or if a woman cheats on the guy?
That's a good question.
Because I think I know the answer. I'm obviously biased.
Probably if a guy cheats on a woman. I think.
Why is that? Hot take, by the way. Interesting take. I think you'd be surprised with what people would say. Leave it in the comments. Actually.
Well, please. I've been cheated on before.
By a woman.
By a woman.
Right.
And
never been cheated on, to my knowledge. It's very possible I have been.
Okay, so it was a weird situation. So back in the day, my girlfriend from high school and I.
This is high school though.
Yeah. So we were together for like 4 or 5 months. She was great. I was like graduating high school. I was like, okay, I don't really want to be in a relationship anymore. So I broke up with her. Everything was great. I felt great for like all 11 minutes. And then, actually, I was good for like 3 weeks. She was devastated.
Well, you know that
she was also smoking hot.
And hold on. Give me a description.
She was
height. Start with height.
5'9", 5'10".
Okay, and bra size.
Double D's.
Double D's, but are we
120 pounds.
We're talking like wide chest double D's, or because you know that depending on the bra size, that actually is it's relative.
She was super skinny. We're talking like huge knockers.
Okay. So bigger in comparison.
Absolutely.
Color hair.
She was blonde.
Natural.
Natural.
Did she add bleach to darken it?
Not only was she blonde, but her hair went down to the top of her butt. She had really long.
Got it. Yeah. Slight curl or super straight?
Super straight.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Nice face.
Everything. Yep.
Okay.
And she was straight hourglass figure.
What? Okay, so the bottom matched the top.
Everything.
That's wonderful. And so this is high school. So you're just big pimping.
Yeah.
And you did like wrestling in high school, right? So you were a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so.
So we broke up.
Well, hold on. I wanted to say this. Men can't handle breakups or after like in the macro sense. Like later it starts to crush them.
Correct.
Women, they suffer and then they have their glow up.
Absolutely. So what ended up happening was we broke up. She got crushed right away. I took a while to get crushed. And then finally I was like, you know what?
Did you break up with her?
I did.
Why?
Because I wanted to be single.
What grade?
Literally graduated high school. It was like right when we graduated.
Yeah, so that's a tumultuous time for a young man, right? Like you're like, I actually remember when I went to high school, a lot of guys would break up with would break up with their girlfriends in senior year. Was this senior year?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It was literally the last like
Usually
2 weeks of school.
It might be a fear response. It might be like I don't want to get locked down. I'm feeling like an alpha Chad. Okay, so you broke up with her.
So I broke up with her.
How long did it go before you guys got back together?
Like 2 or 3 months.
Okay, so this is basically when you start to hit your downhill, but
Correct.
you caught her in time before she had
So
already
what
arrived
happened
there.
was I went to a buddy in Flagstaff's place for what we called Hell Week.
Flagstaff, explain.
You know what? It might have been longer than 3 months. It might have been in like September, October, because my buddy went to NAU. We went up there for a whole week and just got smashed every night.
Okay.
And I started getting fucking mega depressed from it.
Well, yeah, because alcohol's a depressant.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, should I get back together with this girl? And he was like,
I'm sick and tired of it at a certain point.
he was just like, you know what? You could try. You could definitely try.
Yeah, why not?
And
Because when you're drinking, it's fun, and then eventually it puts a pin in it.
Correct. So I hit her up, and like we hung out, and then the first fucking time we were hanging out, I was like, let's go hang out, and she's like, okay, cool. We instantly just went back to my place and fucked like the whole day.
Well, yeah, you're teenagers, right?
Right.
Young, like were you 20 or are you? 19?
I was 19, 18,
Yeah,
19.
of course.
Yeah,
Like
actually, it
like-
might have been just 18. So
Like rabbits, right?
yeah, and so it was all good, and then we just started hanging out again. We never really talked about it or anything like that, which was probably the bad thing.
You don't have emotion.
Yeah,
you don't have any emotional.
Yeah, we just
intelligence.
started hanging out again, and what happened was like, I don't know, probably a month and a half, 2 months later, a bunch of my friends said like, hey, we saw this person at the movies with some other dude, and I was like, well, I don't fucking care. I'm not a jealous type.
Sure.
And I was like,
Well,
oh, okay.
Were you guys dating? Was this in between?
That's what I'm saying. We never really talked about it or anything.
So you didn't have any grounds to like pop off.
Right, and so
It's actually pretty commendable of you, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
like a lot of guys might get a little spicy.
and so what ended up happening was, and this girl might have been Mormon,
So those are the freaks.
and yeah.
Have you heard about soaking?
I have.
Okay, I'll let our viewers look that up on their own accord.
Just park in the car. So, anyways, so my friends told me about this, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I just kind of like asked her about it, and she's like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, it's not anything. It's just
Okay.
a friend.
She could have just told you the truth.
Correct. And so what ended up happening was her parents hooked her up with this other guy.
Mormon?
Yeah. And
Is she still with him to this day?
yeah, they're married.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
That's how that shit works.
Not only this,
I have a similar story.
But this
I'm
guy-
gonna tell you how evil I am in a second.
but this guy, so we were 18 at the time.
Yeah.
This guy was 45.
That's fucking strange. So he's like an elderly person now.
Yeah, I definitely went and looked up his Facebook post at the
He's
page
old.
at the time because I was just
Yeah.
curious, and he had an album from 1992 when he graduated high school.
So he's
That
arcane.
was-
so
that
he's
was
arcane now. He's like an elderly person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so,
How old would that make him now?
dude, in his 60s, I think.
How old is she?
No,
Is
in
she
his 50s.
Is she still banging?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, anyways, but ever since that day, I was just, and like honestly, like I said, looking back, I can go, well, we never really talked about it. We never reestablished ground rules or anything like that. But in my head, I kind of go, and now I'm married, and so
Right.
I told my wife straight up though that I don't really care. You could punch me in the face. You could
Right.
do anything you want. If you ever cheated on me, that's it. I'm out the door. I'm gone. You'll never see me again.
This brings me back. I'm gonna tell you my story, but I'm gonna full circle this for us. When what I think is if a lady cheats, so when a woman has sex, right? Like what is her prerogative? Is it to feel good and feel alpha, or is it to feel comforted and loved?
It's that one.
It's the second one, right?
Yeah, it's the latter.
It's the latter. So if a woman cheats on a dude, I feel like it's ultimately because she's seeking refuge. So if like a lady cheats on a dude, it's because not all women. There are definitely a small percentage of women that are like hyper alpha chads, like elite individuals. But My thought process is if a lady cheats, it's because like there's a question of the love, right?
Right.
If a guy cheats, it's simply there. If a guy cheats, if there's a guy that cheats, that he absolutely just wants to get his rocks off, right? And he could go right back to his wife and continue to love her. Andrew Tate says, I mean, not a massive fan, but he says stuff like that all the time, and I've always kind of known that, right? But he just puts it a little bit more provocative. My thought process is, I'm not trying to align myself with the guy, but I definitely agree that if a guy does, he can return to his wife and like love her for the next 50 years, and they can stay married.
Right.
As soon as a woman does it, though, I think
She's out.
She's out. I'm not advocating either way. I'm just saying you have to look at the motivation and understand where that's coming from, right? So that's my philosophy on it. But I do want to tell you a story after we come back from these messages.
Do you hear that, buddy?
What was that?
What is that? It's time for what's cracking around the world. So there's lots of stuff going on today, man.
Okay, run it.
So
I'll give you my take.
First things first. Did you watch the fucking House? What is it? The speaker, not Speaker of the House. What's it called?
The House, whatever.
The State of Union address. There we go.
Okay, so hot take. I truly believe like this is how it was hundreds of years ago. Like 100 years ago, I think it was just as fucking crazy as it was today. And I asked people this, I'm like, no, it was more civil. I'm like, bruh, they were talking about the age of consent.
They also used to shoot the shit out of each other back in the day, so it's hard to say.
I think it was just fucking people. They would get drunk and show up like old boys club.
Yeah.
I think like it's.
You know why they used to drink back in the day though?
Yeah, because water was unsafe.
Correct.
You'd get what?
So you would just get smashed all day long.
Right. I think it was fucking crazy. I definitely am more conservative, right? But I definitely think some of those Republicans are like super villains in the House with the fucking fur. What's her name? With the fur coat.
Audrey Taylor Greene.
She's cheating on her husband. Didn't you hear about that?
She cheats on her husband.
She cheated on her husband, and she's representing like the Republican Party, right? So she's supposed to be very moral and pure, right? So I think it's just absolutely. I mean, she threw a fit though, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
But also Biden, I love watching Biden get just eat shit.
I still like the fucking guy, though, that was chilling in the audience. And when Biden was like, we're not going to slash Medicare or get rid of fucking all this shit. And the guy's just like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. And then they were just like, cut to him saying, yeah, we're going to get fucking rid of Medicare.
Dude, yeah. So do you think Biden's still all there?
No.
Completely gone.
Define completely gone.
Well, I guess when
does Biden shit himself on a constant basis? Absolutely.
I definitely
is that completely gone?
He's probably got some like super alpha elite medication that he takes so he doesn't poop his pants. But do you think he does?
No, I think he has 6 interns that just wipes his ass for him.
On God, have you ever seen him like get lost?
Yeah. It's kind of my favorite thing.
I love
when they're like, "This way, Mr. President." He's like, "Okay." And he just fucking goes the other way.
That's a perfect representation of where we are in America right now. It's gonna get spicy. Do you think he's gonna get reelected?
I do.
I know you do. And here's the thing: is I hate to agree with you, but I do think.
But maybe not because
I think he might actually.
Here's the thing. So I just saw some polls on it, and it says that his approval rating is the lowest it's ever been. It's at 42%.
That's pretty low.
It is and it isn't. For someone that's been in president, it normally drops. But 42% is a little low. But the problem is that only 20% of people think he should rerun for president.
The problem is there should be age limits, right?
Agreed. I don't think anybody should be president past 75.
I also think Trump shouldn't be allowed to run again.
Correct.
He's just so old. He also says some off-the-cuff shit.
He also walks weird. Like a duck.
He also seems like in his head the way he talks to people, he's jacked, right? But he's terribly.
Have you seen his diet?
It's terrible.
He
doesn't drink any alcohol. Very interesting.
He doesn't
drink coffee either.
No, he doesn't do anything.
And you're not drinking coffee or alcohol. Do you think you could run the country without either of those things?
No.
Fuck no, right?
No, I would need a blunt every day.
Do you think Obama blazed it?
Yeah.
Every fucking day.
Absolutely.
That's why he was so cool.
That was exactly.
Yeah.
No, so fucking Trump. The problem with him is that his diet is like 80% chicken nuggets and Diet Coke.
He just runs off MSG. That's how you beat COVID. That's the secret.
That's the secret?
Yeah.
You just inject ground up McFlurry into his fucking...
When the ice cream machine isn't working. Do you think...
Oh, God. Conspiracy theory. All the ice cream machine had to go to Donald Trump's arteries.
So he has that Diet Coke on tap. Is that real?
Yeah.
Do you think he has a McFlurry machine, like, in the...
Without question.
Wow. Yeah, so the Biden administration pisses me the fuck off. I mean, I'm a moderate, so I'll go either way. I lean more conservative, right? But
right.
My thought process is, like, I don't like the crazy diehard, like, people on either end. Like, when I see like, a lady with the fur, or I see any, like, AOC, both of these people are completely nutso. And they're, like, the polar extremes, and that's why they're so interesting and entertaining to people.
Well, what do I tell you all the time? What's a conversation?
Two people talking.
A conversation is, I'm standing here, you're standing there, we have to meet somewhere in the middle.
It's not me talking at you.
That's me taking one step forward, or me going all the way right up against you, but you take one step forward.
Sure.
You gotta meet somewhere in the middle.
100%.
If your whole thing is I'm not gonna budge, and I'm gonna stand right here and expect you also to budge, and you say I'm not gonna budge, then nothing's ever gonna get done.
Correct. I also think most people want the same thing. They just have different ideas of how to, like, resolve it, right? So ultimately, if you, like, just say, hey, well, let's consider, both sides, I think we would be more healthy. I also think that there should be 4 quadrants. The fact that both of our presidents that always run are authoritarian and not libertarian at all, it's fucking crazy. We should at least have a 4-quadrant system, 4-party system. But that's a way longer conversation.
100%. Well, also what's going on in the news is Kevin Durant just came to the Phoenix Suns.
Fuck yeah, dude. I don't even watch basketball. I'm hype as fuck, dude.
The Slim Reaper!
The Slim Reaper.
Sheesh! BTW, our boss hates us now.
We definitely drive her crazy, but at the same time, I think she definitely, like, loves the camaraderie.
Oh, she does.
She does. She can't ever tell us because then it will get worse for her.
Yeah.
But she can't ever admit to it.
Yeah. So essentially, Kevin Durant's here. We gave up 2 awesome guys in return.
I heard.
So we gave up Mikal Bridges and we gave up Cam Johnson. They will be missed. They're both fantastic players, but they're not Kevin Durant, so it's okay.
Kevin Durant's like one of the top 5, right, players?
He's probably top 12 of all time.
Okay.
So yeah, he's
really good.
He's really fucking awesome.
That goatee though, I don't know how I feel about that goatee.
He's so skinny. That's the problem.
Interesting. I'm excited. I might actually start watching basketball just because now we got, like, a really good player. Like,
yeah, we're gonna fucking win the whole thing. So that's exciting.
We got close last year, right?
The last 2 years we've gotten pretty close. Last year
the Suns are now on the map. Like, they weren't on the map
100%.
before. They were like a loser team.
Right.
And
we were fucking bottom 5, and now we're in the top.
Do you know why? It's because a ton of Californians, like, they went through the exodus and now they're here and, like, they're hyping it up.
Well, we just sold the team too. A new owner bought the team on Thursday, and that's when this trade happened. So Matt Ishbia is the owner of is the CEO of Rocket Mortgage, and he just bought the Phoenix Suns.
Very interesting. I wish
he's also like 47. He's super young.
That's actually cool. I want to be a swag Kazakage like him when I grow up.
First swag Kazakage. Fucking awesome.
That is awesome. No, I love sports memes, but I don't know enough about sports. You're getting me into sports memes, and I'm a massive fan.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the news?
So I was just checking out the internet right now, and it just says there was an object the size of a small car was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet over Alaska. Biden ordered the military to take it down. Do you think this is a second thing?
Can I be honest with you? I'm ready for World War to pop off.
I think it's about to, bro.
That sucks.
Yeah, because
we're gonna go through a depression.
This is today. This was a second object.
No.
Yeah.
I hope this is just like people just fucking with the government and putting up like giant weather balloons and stuff.
Another high altitude object hovering over Alaska on Friday. It was shot down near the Canadian border on the water that is frozen in Arctic Ocean, and the White House said the object flies at an altitude of 40,000 feet, size of a small car.
They lost it?
No, they shot it down, I think.
Yeah, but they need to retrieve it.
Was it a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian fight? Yeah, bro, what the fuck's going on?
Have you ever heard, like, the Russian Congress or whatever talk about, like, fucking retaking Alaska because it used to be owned by Russia?
Yeah.
They 100% have you ever heard like the counter rebuttals? Those guys in Alaska are funny. Like, you could try, motherfucker. It's awesome.
What do you think it was?
Probably Russian. Probably Russian.
Do you think it was Russian or you think it was China?
One of the two. I just think tension's really high right now, and I think the best way.
We're gonna go into another war, bro.
I really hope not. I really hope not. Do you think it'll be like a Cold War, or do you think it'll be a hot war?
It depends who it's with.
I definitely think like while the suffrage in Ukraine is absolutely horrendous and terrible, and I don't commend it in any way, I also want you to know, like, I don't think we should be the world police force. It's really interesting.
No, I agree.
It's really interesting watching a lot of like Democrats specifically get really like pro supporting Ukraine, and what they don't realize is it kind of comes off as pro war, like. And I understand, like, but these are people that put these bumper stickers on, but they would absolutely never join the military, right?
Correct.
And what they don't understand is they're feeling the fire. We're hemorrhaging billions of dollars every day, but like we're suffering in America, right?
No, I mean what it comes down to is, I guess, what's the situation, right?
Right.
I think if there's a world war popping off, America could probably step in on it. But if we're like here's the thing, like Ukraine and Russia, like let them handle their shit.
It was their capital 100 years ago or some shit.
Number one, we all have nukes, and the problem is that we'll never get involved with Russia because
we're poking the nuclear bear.
Right. We don't want. The second we nuke Russia or Russia nukes us, no one wins that fucking fight.
Yeah, it could be the end of days for sure, and even if it doesn't go hot, it's definitely going to install a Cold War that's going to last for a very
probably like 50 years.
Yeah, 50 years, and Russia being so close now to if they take Kiev, and it would be so close. Like, I don't think this is a winnable battle. I think it's all it's doing is, have you ever played Civ?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just dumping resources in just to undermine their resource flow. Right. That's all that's really happening. It's going to be fucking rubble. So whoever gets it, it doesn't matter.
There's also, like, if you notice, first of all, a couple things. One, the United States only invades places with oil. Second of all,
very true.
It's a lot easier to invade like Iraq or Iran where there's a bunch of sand people and not.
Yeah, but we retreated.
I mean, we did because it seemed like Vietnam. There's so much dirt.
We should have never been there to begin with.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not a massive fan. I've definitely heard other takes. Like, I think Dread Pirate's take is we got to be there, or else they're gonna get out of line.
Yeah, but he's pro-military.
He's 100% indoctrinated. That's right. Okay. Like, that's part of the system.
That's job security.
You can't blame him.
No, absolutely not.
No, especially he's around people who think like that all the time. But
correct. You're a product of your environment.
100%. Not a fan. I think we should be back home fixing what's going on in America.
Fuck yeah! You know how much homeless people we have here?
We could probably take care of that with the money we're giving to Ukraine.
You know how much money we just spend on the military every year?
An absurd.
This is a hot take, but like our budget for the military is bigger than every other budget for every other military combined.
That makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
But
I understand your point. Like, we could cure homeless and everything, but like, if we start to dip, do you think people would start to test us? Like,
no.
even if we start reallocating.
No, because the United States itself is a place that's uninvadable. The only place.
No, yeah, because we have like 100 guns to every person.
Not only just that, but
we're perfectly placed. If we were in a Civ game,
yeah,
we would be winning.
We're winning.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: the only person that could really truly invade us would be Canada, and they never will. So yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and it's time to go to the sparrow's nest, buddy.
All right, let's take a look.
All right. So I'm spinning this wheel real quick, and we're going to take a look what pops up. I did fix the wheel, so it actually does work.
Oh, the lightning. I love it.
Although I did get the same one from last time.
You got to run it again.
But here we go. Ready?
I think I may need to hit this button.
Here we go. Okay. For $5 million.
Yes. No, I'm just
For $5 million, I would give you
cash
cash
under the table. I don't have to pay taxes on it.
Correct.
Are there places? Are there things? I know I'm not letting you finish, but are there things in place to help me clean the money so I don't have to pay taxes?
Yeah, you just get it. It's just your money.
The government will be like,
I hand it to you in a briefcase,
or you'll give me enough to pay taxes on top of that.
No, I hand it to you in a briefcase.
Okay.
The government has no idea you get this money.
Okay, cool.
Okay, $5 million, but in order to get this money, you have to live in a dump. for 1 year.
Inside the dump.
In the dump, you have to get all your food, water, shelter, everything.
Mentally, I could do it.
From the dump.
Mentally, I could do it. I think I'll get sick. I think I'd die within that year.
You think you can man through it?
It's not even about being man through. I think I could man through. What I'm saying, psychologically, I could man through, but I think I'd die from the water and the food.
Why though?
Poisoned.
Why would you get poisoned?
Because it's rotted.
No, but it's a dump. Every day there's fresh trash coming in.
I'd have, you know what? Let me observe the dump because every dump is different. I have no idea. I'd have to look at the dump. We'd have to talk about it. Like obviously beforehand, I have to say no because I might die. I might die. Well, also, what is my wife gonna do?
She's gonna get $5 billion at the end of this.
Billion.
5 million.
Oh, 5 million. You know what? Would she be cool with like? I think she. First of all, my wife would love a year away.
If I gave,
my wife would be like, "Oh, thank God, peace and fucking quiet."
would you? What if? Okay, what if I handed your wife the briefcase with $2.5 million in it, and then you walked out with the $2.5 million at the end?
Yeah, 100%.
Because at least then your wife's taken care of regardless.
Right. Oh, but I have to. She doesn't get access to that money unless I die. Like,
no, I'm saying I hand her $2.5 million. You go in.
What's stopping me from just quitting?
Then it gets taken away. You have to make it through that. You either have to die or make it through the whole time.
That actually is not a bad deal because then my wife is taken care of.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I think you could do it.
I think $2 million.
You know how many people probably throw away like half drinking bottles of water?
I think I'd get really into it. Have you ever seen the movie? It's a Korean film. Have you ever seen the movie Castaway on the Moon?
No.
Great movie, by the way. So the movie basically the premise is a lot of suicide in Asia, a lot of suicide in America.
Right.
But this is so he tries to kill himself and he jumps off a bridge and he falls on an island. And so when he falls on the island, he doesn't die, and he's like, "Damn, I really want to die." But then he like realizes like, "Oh my God, I'm finally outside of this like highly toxic work focused society," and he like becomes homeless and he fucking loves it. It's like a dump. So I'm imagining I'm him, and he like makes noodles and everything, and he grows plants, and he makes really great movie. Then a shut-in, because Korea has a lot of shut-ins, real big problem. She doesn't leave her room, but she sees through her spyglass that she looks at the moon with, and she finds him, and then it gets her out of her shell to like run out of her apartment in the middle of the night with a helmet on and deliver him like bottles and messages. And they fall in love, and it's really cute.
That's fun. What's it called?
Castaway on the Moon. I own it.
I'll have to check that out because that sounds right up my alley.
And it's the whole reason I got my DVD player, so it's region unlocked. Because you can't. It's so hard to get it in a region on eBay that you can watch it on. So definitely watch it. One of my favorite movies of all time.
All right.
Yeah, that I think I would do it that way. Like that would give me the inspiration to power through. So I would certainly try, and even if I die, my wife would be taken care of. I'd just make sure like the will looks good, everything looks good before I go. I probably do. How much time do I have to prep for this?
You're going in tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm on God. Let's do it.
I think I could do it. I honestly think, and here's why. It'd be gross. To be honest with you,
people throw out a lot of stuff.
Right. So after the first month, to be fair, that first month I probably wouldn't want to fucking eat anything.
Sure.
It would probably feel really gross.
Sure.
But I think a lot of people throw away a lot of drinks and shit that are half drinking.
Sure.
I'm not worried about that at all. The food aspect of it, I think after a month of like starving in a dump, I think anything will sound good, and I just could do it.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's what I'm thinking. Also,
I'm gonna look for every pizza box.
You would never be able to smell food ever again. I feel like it would burn the inside of your noses. You might also. What about the air quality? You think you're gonna get cancer or something?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe it'd be worth it though if you get up front and even if you die.
Well, that's why it's on one of the questions.
But yeah, watch Castaway on the Moon. Great movie. Audience, watch Castaway on the Moon. Great movie. I think you can. It was on Netflix when I first watched it, but Netflix has gone significantly down.
Yeah, why does Netflix suck now?
Because everyone copied them, and
they did it better.
Stars, yeah. There's a lot of other like HBO Max is really good.
They're going downhill.
They're all going to go downhill.
No, so the problem is Netflix had this business idea of spend more money than they earn, and now they're finally.
Oh, they did a blitz model.
But they've been doing that for years.
And then they're starting to ramp down.
Now they're getting to the point where they're like, we have to make money. Our investors are pissed, and we have to make money.
Sure.
And so
WeWork was like that. Or I watched the mockumentary type series on Apple TV. Very interesting. You should watch it.
What is it?
WeWork.
It's a mockumentary.
You know what WeWork is? They have them downtown. It's basically these office spaces that you pay money to and you rent them out. and you can you have an office, but the community ended up being really toxic. They had alcohol on tap. Sounds amazing. Like if you're home based, that's what I would go work. A lot of people are fucking in the break room and stuff like that. And the guy just did a mass expansion model, and Jamie actually he worked with like I think head of Chase or Jamie or whatever his name was, and he worked with all of these heads of like big banks and China or India, and they like fired him because he was shit. Like they all got, they're like, at first they loved the idea, like, wow, you guys are making so much money, and then after like, dude, you're fucking crazy.
Get out, what the hell?
Party, dude, party animal. Like
Gotcha.
one of those crazy startup CEOs. They fired him, and it just like ruined his life. But it was a pretty interesting TV show. But I still want to tell you my story.
Hey, tell me your story.
So remember, I told you I was evil, most evil. So when I was a teenager, I moved from New York to Arizona with my parents. Didn't really want to. Didn't have a great relationship with them. And then I mailed my car back and took a Greyhound bus back. So I broke up with my long-term high school sweetheart.
Right.
I moved back, and she's like, "Oh, I'm in love with you still." She gained a lot of weight. She wasn't a little overweight.
Define a lot of weight.
She's real short, so she gained like 50 pounds. That's a lot for like 5'5" or something. You know what I mean? Like, or no, you're 5'5"?
No, me, I'm 5'8".
Okay, so she was like 5'4".
Okay.
5'3" maybe. Very, very short. And she gained like 50 pounds. That's a lot of weight, right? And so I basically, and I was feeling myself, right? I'm like, I lost a lot of weight. I was looking really handsome. I was like in my peak.
You guys are.
Yeah, and I basically was like, she came over. She drove an hour to come see me in the country because I was staying with my buddy in the country. And I said, she's like, oh, I really like you. And I was like, yeah, you gotta leave. Like, I'm not attracted. Cold-blooded. I'm like, I'm not attracted to you. This girl got in shape for me.
Oh,
she
shit.
Lost all the weight. She was on shape. She looked excellent. She tried to give me a hard time because I wanted to hit her up. Like I was having like a dry period, right? And I was like, hey, how are you doing? And I hit her up, and she was like, we can be friends. I was like, nah, man.
I'm good.
I'm good. I dipped. Took a week. Okay, let's hang out. Bang, 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 pounded through. But she's like, I want to be back together again. I'm like, it's just not the same. Like, I don't have that connection anymore. And so she's like, well, when I moved back to Phoenix, she's like, can we stay in touch? It's like, certainly. And I ghosted her.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she was so, dude, I broke her heart twice.
Got her.
And that is, yeah, I did. She ended up marrying a pilot, and they live in South Carolina, actually, I think, now.
Oh, shit. We go fucking full circle.
Full circle. And she looks good to this day. She still looks pretty good. But her husband, I don't think they're married. They're just partners. Her looks like a man-child. But he's a pilot, so he's probably making good money. So good for her. I'm glad she figured it out. She went through. She was also crazy. Like
yeah,
because I went to an alternative high school.
But here's the thing:
all the girls were crazy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, though.
Yeah.
All women are a little crazy.
Some are way more, though. I agree with you. Some way more.
They're all on the spectrum.
100%. It's harder to identify. Also, there's girls that went to my high school because I went to alternative high school, had like really emotionally disturbed.
Right.
Which is kind of fun because they're freaks.
That's fun.
But at the same time, like, yeah, I kind of feel bad for that to this day. Kind of a baller move.
You should just get over it.
Yeah, you're right.
By the way, we're 42 minutes into this podcast.
Are we really?
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up here soon. You got anything else before we go?
Well, we should probably introduce ourselves because we haven't introduced ourselves to this entire podcast.
Oh, I'm Blackbeard.
Yeah, this is I'm the Sparrow, and this is Blackbeard, and I mean, honestly, I think that's a good wrap for today, buddy.
I think so. I feel good. I'm excited. I'm excited to continue, and I need this. I look forward to this all week.
Yeah, this is our real job.
This is my real job.
Yeah.
100% on God.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Don't forget to go, if you want to email us, you can send it to the Pirate Podcast channel at gmail.com. You can find us on the Pirate Podcast on YouTube, or you can find us on Apple Music, Pirate Podcast, or Spotify, the Pirate Podcast.
Our matey.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend.
She.